everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andrea. It's nice to have you guys here. Today I'm doing a bit of a makeup declutter. In the interest of full disclosure, I decluttered quite a while ago, but I've kept the box of all the makeup that I am getting rid of. I thought I would do a designated makeup empties slash makeup that's just gone a bit off slash makeup declutter, but skip the whole watch me actually declutter it part because that would have been like a 5-hour video. So we're gonna shorten the process, hopefully make this video go by a little bit faster. I feel like I'm also really off center. There, that's better. Okay, so as far as declutters go, I don't have a lot, but I also don't have a whole lot in general. I've already done a palette declutter slash palette collection video. I'll try to link that above. Diving right in and going in random order because I'm just going to pull these out of the box. First up is the Boots Botanics. Now they just call it Botanics. They've dropped the Boots part and they've changed the label. But this is the Radiance Balm All Bright. They do still sell these. I get mine at Walgreens. I have already repurchased it. I've got an eyebrow palette. This is by Allure. I did hit pan in the gel, and I can just barely see a bit of silver pan in the powder. Never really used the highlighter, but I felt like I ended up buying the Fleur de Force brow palette, which is what I've been using, and just wasn't turning to this one. Plus the gel bit, cream bit was just wasn't working quite as well. It was starting to look just a little bit manky in the pan, and this was like a 1.5 years old at that point, so I just felt like, yeah, I got a lot of use out of it. These things, I swear, it's like you can't really use them up. The Fleur de Force one I've been using pretty much every day since October, and it also barely looks like I've touched it. So they're definitely worth the money. You will get your money's worth out of them. The Josie Maran Surreal Skin Argan Finishing Balm. This is just a little pot of it that I got in my play box. I used a fair amount. There's still a little bit left, but I just felt like it started to go a bit off something of it. It just wasn't the same. I was a bit gutted to be letting go of this. This is my YSL Creme de Blush. It's a cream blush, but again, you can definitely tell that I've used it, loved it. With cream products, I've definitely had this for a number of years, so I'm gonna let it go. Go through some of the mascaras because there's a bunch. Let's see, the Monsieur Big by Lancome. It was okay. It was a bit messy. Not my favorite. It was okay. Rimmel Extra Super Lash. This is a holy grail. I will always have one of these in my ongoing mascara collections. I just absolutely love the brush. I get good amount of length, volume, separation, definition. It's just kind of your good old bog standard mascara. I buy these in a 2-pack from Target for $5, so $2.50 each. Yeah, not much more to say about this. I love it and I will always repurchase. Also by Rimmel, Wonder Lash with Argan Oil. It was a plastic bristle wand, a really big one, big, thick, chunky one. It was okay, nothing to write home about, and as far as Rimmel goes, I do feel like the Extra Super Lash is kind of just the best. I felt like this was a bit of a gimmick and didn't actually really do anything that different. Tarte's Lights Camera Lashes. Again, this is a bristle brush, not plastic. I did like this. It gave me a fair amount of definition. These are often in the Sephora Lash Stash To Go Sephora Favorite sets, which is where I got this little one. I've gone a bit off Tarte just as a brand, so I wouldn't purchase a full size of this, but it is a decent mascara. Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I still think the name is absolutely ridiculous, but I do like the mascara, and I'm tempted to use, I have another Sephora voucher from a Lash Stash set for a full size, free full size, which is where this one came from, and I'm tempted to use it again on another one of these. I like that the wand, the end of the wand that you hold, that end is weighted, so it just, I don't know, there's something about the weighted handle that just feels really nice as you're using it, and I feel like I get a little bit more control. Maybe it's psychological, I don't know, but I do like it. Lancome Hypnos Drama. This has a kind of curvy S-shaped wand. I really like these. I have used a full size. I have redeemed the voucher for a full size of these before. It is a good mascara. I would recommend. We've got a couple lip glosses. You can't buy these anymore, but I'm mentioning them because they've been repackaged. These are the Sexy Mother Pucker lip glosses from Soap and Glory. I really loved these ones. I'm not so wild on the new repackaged versions. They just don't go on the same, so that's a bit disappointing. But these have definitely, there's still some in there, but they've gotten pretty old, and I think they're at the end of their shelf life. This is a tube of House of Lashes eyelash adhesive. I didn't finish all of this one. It just started to get a little bit gloppy and gloopy and wasn't going on as well, but I have repurchased it, and I will continue to repurchase it because it's my favorite eyelash adhesive. It goes on so well. It sticks really well. The lashes stay on all day, all night. But then they're not really hard to get off, so really excellent lash adhesive. The Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. I used a fair bit of this, but not all of it. I just felt like it was a bit thick, and for some, I think that would work. For me and for the way that I use concealer, I just found it really hard to use, really hard to blend. It did not work well under my eyes. It's too thick for under my eyes. So yeah, it's a very thick, creamy consistency. It's not, I tend to like my concealers a little bit thinner, not quite runny, but not quite as thick as this. It was okay. The Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. As far as inexpensive primers go, I definitely like this one. I feel like this is very similar to the Smashbox photo filter, whatever their clear-ish one is. So I've gotten that in a couple Sephora Play boxes, and I really feel like it's the same thing as this, but this is a lot cheaper. A lip product, NYX Butter Gloss. This is in shade Creme Brulee. I bought this way back when bought this a couple years ago when I first started my channel, and this is one of the first, I know this is in one of my early monthly favorites, and I think I featured it in an Ulta haul or something way back when. Same thing with the Eyelure Brow Palette. So that's how I know how old it is because that brow palette, that was I think also in an Ulta haul. So they might have been bought at the same time. This had been recommended by another YouTuber. I did like it. I didn't continue wearing it a lot because other lip glosses kind of came in, but I would be inclined to pick up another butter gloss because I did like them. This was a NYX concealer. The packaging is like, it's all worn off. I liked this. I liked this a lot. Eventually it just kind of started smelling funny, so I stopped using it, but they're so inexpensive, I would repurchase this. I did like it a lot. I don't know which concealer it was because the packaging is ripped off. I've got an e.l.f. smudge pot that I barely used because it didn't really do anything. So that's a bit disappointing. NYX Liquid Crystal Liner. I loved this up until it started making my lash line sting when I used it. It did that to me once and I was never willing to use it again. So I don't know if my eyelids just got sensitive or something in here went off. I'm not sure, but it does really sparkle. So another eyelash adhesive, Georgie Beauty. I ordered this online. You can get it on Amazon. I think Nordstrom also sells it. That's where I got mine. Really liked this one, but then found the House of Lashes, and I do like that House of Lashes is a brush on, whereas this is a squeeze, but I would go back to using this if I needed to. If for some reason I couldn't get House of Lashes, I would do that. Got some eyeliners. So I did a major declutter of those. So I've got two by Origins. Origins was my go-to eyeliner for a while. Their black one in 01 Jet was a favorite. I love that these had a twist-up tube. I've purchased this one probably 3 or 4 times. I also have it in Mulberry, which I'd be tempted to get that again. I did really like the Mulberry one. It was very pretty. But yeah, the Mulberry one is a sharpen, but the Jet, I think they switched to a twist up. Did really like these, really highly rate them, but I eventually started getting eyeliners from other places. I got one from Juice Beauty. I won this in a giveaway because the person whose channel it was doesn't really use black eyeliner, so I was really excited. The problem was As I started using it, it just kind of really was tugging on my eye. It wasn't as soft as I like my eyeliners, so I never really got around to using that. It just was not one I was turning to. And for a very similar reason, I also stopped using these ones from Sephora. These are their nano eyeliners. I have them in 3 different shades. And I loved the colors, and they swatch okay on the back of the hand, but then when you try to put them on, again, it's the same problem. It's just really tugging along the lash line, and you can't get a smooth line. I do really like their waterproof. There's a different Sephora collection eyeliner that I use that I've mentioned before. I know I used it in my recent vlog where I did a kind of get ready with me at the end for the Sunday. I really like those ones. I think it's their waterproof 24-hour something or other. Those ones are really soft and go on really nicely. These ones, not so much. I've got an Autograph from Marks & Spencer kohl eyeliner. Love it. I just kind of started getting to the end of it and stopped using it because I had other black ones. But I would repurchase those if I was in the UK with Marks & Spencer. Had a Buxom one that it just kind of broke and fell out. But I wasn't too wild about it to begin with. And a Tarte So Fine, it's like a micro liner. It's really, really tiny. So tiny, I really couldn't get it to do anything. This came in a palette set that I got. It was a giveaway prize that I won. And I love the palette, but the micro liner just, it never really worked. It's too small to get the kind of liquid liner look that I go for, so I just never really used it. NYX Collection Noir Liquid Black Liner, probably my favorite black eyeliner. It's the easiest one for me to use. I really like it. It just kind of, I'd gotten to a point where it was definitely running out and not applying as it usually does. So, but I have been meaning to go to Ulta and pick up a new one of those. Mascara by Marc Jacobs, the Velvet Noir Major Volume Mascara. I wasn't that impressed with it. Didn't feel like it was volumizing or anything. Brow This Way by Rimmel, Basic Clear Brow Gel. This is kind of the one I always repurchase if I need a basic clear brow gel. It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. It's a good mascara. It is. But for what it was promising, it was a bit of a disappointment. So it's a good mascara, but it doesn't deliver on all of the amazing things it claims it can do, unfortunately. Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I have not had to buy any kind of eyeshadow base in forever because I keep getting these little ones in play boxes or other freebie sets, offers, things from Sephora, and these little ones last for flippin' ever. So love them. If I ever do run out before a new little mini one has arrived in a new play box, I will go buy a full size one. I just haven't needed to. Do the Hoola. This was a soft matte liquid bronzer for face. This came in, I think, the first play box that I got. I used it a couple times and then never again. I rarely use bronzer to begin with. I definitely feel like I am not nearly talented enough to use a liquid or cream bronzer, so never used it. Too Faced Shadow Insurance. This was probably one of the first eyeshadow primers I tried. I do like it, but I like Primer Potion better. Now we're down to mascaras and lip glosses. We'll do the lip glosses and then finish with the last of the mascaras. Estee Edit Flash Photo Gloss. I don't even know if they sell Estee Edit anymore at Sephora. I feel like Estee Lauder kind of is phasing out Estee Edit, but I really wasn't impressed with this. It was just a clear lip gloss. And then the worst lip gloss ever, Too Faced Lip Injection, their Juicy Color Plumping Lip Gloss. This was in shade Milkshake. This came in a Sephora Playbox, and I swear to God, this is the devil's lip gloss. It is the most painful pumping lip product I have ever tried. I had it on for about 30 seconds. After about 10 seconds, I realized I was literally in hell and I needed to get this off my lips. Rushed to the bathroom, wiped it off, so it was not even on for probably 30 seconds total. And my lips were red and sore and in pain for the following like 30 minutes. It was awful. Into the trash that goes. Now we're down to the last of the mascaras. So we've got the Eye Opening Mascara by Bobbi Brown. It's really big, really thick, and maybe in a full size it would be okay because it's so short and the brush is so thick. This just made a mess when I tried to use it. So I only used this a few times before I just got too frustrated. But I think even in a full size, I think the wand, the brush is just too thick, but the bristles aren't dense enough. I just think it would just still make a mess. So I would not purchase a full size of that. The Bobbi Brown mascara that I love is the Smoky Eye mascara. I luckily got 2 of these, one in a play box and one in like a mobile offer or something, or another set. And I was so excited to get 2 of these. I would be tempted to buy a full size of this. This brush was just, it was just magic. It lengthened, it defined, it volumized, but separated. I mean, it was just the perfect mascara. So I'd be tempted to try a full size and see if that matches up, because sometimes there is a difference between the minis and the full sizes. Sometimes one works better than the other, and it's really weird how that happens. The Pacifica Natural Beauty Dream Big Mascara. So I was drawn into this because of the wand. So it starts out, it can be either long and kind of very like evenly defined, or you can twist it to make it shorter and bring the bristles closer together. So one is supposed to lengthen and one is supposed to volumize. And I just found that it didn't really do that. It just, compared to my favorite mascaras, like Better Than Sex and Urban Decay's Perversion, it just couldn't really compete. So the gimmick was interesting, but in the end that kind of just was what it was, a gimmick. I was a bit disappointed. Oh, got another of the Rimmel Extra Super Lash. You can tell I love that. Buxom, this is their lash mascara. That's what they call it, in Blackest Black. I've gone through a few of these because they do tend to come in the Lash Stash sets. It's a plastic bristle brush, but it's pretty dense. There's a lot of little bristles in there, and I find that this gives me just a very natural mascara look. So if I want to look like I'm not wearing mascara, it's your lashes but better. It's more of a tint with a little bit of length and volume. So it's not going to give you that super dramatic wow lash, but I love this on days when I'm not wearing a lot of makeup. I actually have one in my rotation right now that I'm currently using. So on days when I'm like just going to physical therapy and vlogging, and so I want something on my lashes, because my lashes naturally are like almost white blonde. You can barely see them without mascara. So this is kind of the one that I turn to. So I love when I can pick up a Lash Stash set and get one of these. I'm not sure I would buy a full size just because that's really the only situation where I wear them, but I do really rate this mascara. Clinique, this is another Playbox High Impact Mascara. It had the mascara on one end and a primer on the other end. The primer really didn't do much. I did like the mascara side. The mascara was really good, and I would recommend, if you can get just the mascara, then their High Impact Mascara is good. If you buy it with the primer, I think I have seen it, like you can buy it separately. The primer really didn't do anything. I did try it with the primer, without the primer. I tried doing it once with one eye with the primer and the mascara, and one eye with the mascara alone. And with the primer, it looked a little bit thicker at the roots of the lashes, but not enough to make it worth the price of getting an extra product. And I feel like if you just work the mascara into the roots along the base of the lashes just for a few more seconds, you can get the same look. So don't feel like the primer was worth it, but I did like the mascara. The last 2 mascaras, one is one of my all-time favorites, Urban Decay Perversion. I've gone through so many of these little ones, and I currently have a full-size one that I'm working my way through. I will always repurchase Perversion, not necessarily every time one dies and gets thrown out. I don't immediately go out and replace it just because I always have other mascaras to try, but this has always been like a mainstay in the collection. I feel like I always have. I go through at least 2 of these every year among all of the other mascaras, and it's one of the few that I have like had repeatedly and welcomed having repeatedly. Like if it's one of the ones in a Lash Stash to go set, then the set is worth it because I at least know I will like this one and can use the voucher on that one. And then the last mascara and the last product is by Rodile. Rodile. I can never remember how to pronounce it. And it's the Glam Lash Mascara XXL. The brush has gone a bit manky in the tube here, but I did really like this one. I felt like it's up there with Perversion and Better Than Sex. The bristle brush is a really good kind of amount of bristles in the brush. Good, not too thick, but not too thin and sparse with the bristles, so you get a really good application. The color is nice and dark. I don't recall this like doing a lot of flaking underneath. So yeah, I really liked this. If I could pick up another mini one, I probably would, and I would be tempted to buy a full size. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. Click the red button below and say hi in the comments. Let me know if you've tried any of these products and if you had any different, either similar or different experiences with them, especially if you tried the Devil's Lip Gloss by Too Faced. I'd love to know if like that actually worked for anyone. Thank you very much for watching this one. I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.